special guest. We have an airbrush artist named Big Guy. Also,
What's up? Yeah. Yeah, I go by Big Guy, but my real name's Jimmy Ramirez.
Just in case, sometimes some people like know you by one name and don't know the other name.
Yeah, of course.
So they see both names, they're like, oh, same.
That's the, yeah, I know. Yeah.
I've got that too, where everybody's like, oh, you're Galie? They're like, because a lot of people know me by Vicky, my real name, whatever. So people from high school, like, they're always on that thing too. So I'm always trying to get people like, say both names. You gotta get both of them out there. So what else do you do? Airbrushing? Do you do?
Well, other than airbrushing, a little bit, but mostly just with murals, So I started doing murals, and I didn't want to use a paintbrush. I've never really used a paintbrush, so I've messed around with spray cans and shit. So I was like, probably around 12, 13, something like that. But I didn't do too much. Yeah, of course, out of the garages of grandma and grandpa and pops, you would notice, hey, I know I had a white and a black in here, stuff like that, but no, so, I started doing murals. I wanted to get into murals, so I had a little bit of experience with spray cans, and obviously with Instagram and YouTube and everything, you could see what everyone's doing, so I'm like, hey, let's try that. I haven't really messed around with it now, well, for a long time, but now I'm seeing it. They have Montanas and all these other things where,
They make a difference. Okay?
Yeah. With the valves and everything, it's way different than like a Krylon or a Rusto or something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm just learning about all this because, when I was doing graffiti, we're just grabbing like even the little cheap ones, like the little 9
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the Walmart ones.
I didn't see like graffiti as like this whole world that it is. It's like it's its own little world.
Oh,
but I didn't see it that way. I
Big
just
world.
I just saw it as in like, you're just tagging a wall, putting your name up there. Like, I don't know. I didn't see nothing of it, until now. I feel like I know more about it now. Before I was in it, and now that I'm not in it, I'm like, cause I need to get back to that cat control. That should be hurting.
Yeah. I had my wife working with me Monday, and she was complaining. She's like, "Oh man, my finger is sore," and I was like,
"Oh
yeah, the little gun, yeah."
It's gonna help you. You'd be like,
she was using her thumb in the end, and I started laughing. I was like, "Yeah, guys do that."
I always end up like this with 2 fingers. They're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Mind your business."
Yeah.
That's just starts hurting because even when I ride motorcycles, like when I go back to it, like the first few days, I'm like dying for my arms because you have to like press
all the levers,
So like you're just hurting. So I was trying to do both at the same time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Even when I tattoo, like I couldn't tattoo after.
Right, yeah.
My muscles are all hurting and I can't even hold the gun. So it's like,
you're telling your hand to do this and it doesn't want to do it.
No, it's like it's doing has its own program. But what do you like about airbrushing?
Just the fact that you can get so many different spray patterns, with one tool. You can get real fine or you can get real big. You can make a real hard line. You can do a fade all in one. It's not like a paintbrush where it's a whole different technique. If you want to do a hard line, you got to load your brush up a certain way. You got to have your paint a certain thickness. Now you want to do a fade, you got to...
All finger control.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, it's all finger control.
So the beginning, I've been airbrushing maybe for like a year or 2 hours. And not even that long, I just started.
Yeah.
And I thought, I was like, I kind of know what I'm doing a little bit, When I took the beginning airbrush course at Paint Helpers.
Oh, yeah.
I took their beginning course airbrush, and I thought it was like just a regular airbrush class, and then it'd be beginners, so I was kind of like, I was a little bummed out at first, and then dude, when the first day I couldn't even do what they asked me, I was just like, dude, I want to call back there. I was like, I'm about to fucking, now I want to say there's a body hurt, so they fucking canceled the class.
Yeah.
But then I was like, no, I gotta fucking try. So I kept doing it, I finally got it. Towards the end, class was already over, but we were kind of still kicking it after.
Right.
Because, we went to Arizona, so everybody's there after hours.
Right, yeah. And they know. Everyone's probably from out of town.
Yes.
Most
so
people.
then we kept messing with it, and then when, I at least tried, it was when I got it. I was going to try, and I was I even turned around to like, oh yeah, like I was trying to do it, but I was like, eh. And then it came out good, and I was just like, why is it when I don't try it comes out good, and then when I try it,
like a lot of things, you know, you don't try, you're not worrying about it, you know. So then
that's how it is with my parallel parking. When I'm like so worried about it, I fuck up and I have to do it again.
Hit the rim.
Yeah, no, I always like end up going in too much or something.
Yeah.
And then when I'm like not even carrying, it just goes in smooth.
Somebody better have recorded that.
Right? It's always like when you're like not trying so hard.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, when you force it.
Yeah.
You have to force it. It's probably not a good thing. So you just work on like, well, I see you work on like murals. You do cars too, right? Or
yeah, I do cars.
What do you do?
Motorcycles, stuff like that.
What do you get the most?
So far, it's been motorcycles. Yeah, I think mostly because it's a smaller thing, and well, kind of. But what I think is, it's all about trust. You know, you're putting something on somebody's ride that they're gonna ride around. People are gonna look at them. They're gonna judge them by that. And so to me, it's 100% that. No one's ever told me this, but it's just in my fucking head.
For us, it's like that. But I feel like, because I've seen some shitty ass work that I was like, I'm do better than that shit. Like,
and I don't get that.
Have you been to car shows?
Of course, yeah. I see stuff and I'm like, why the fuck am I not getting work? But you know, I'm not a hater or nothing, so whatever.
No, it's not even about that. It's just they put themselves out there. You know, like until you do it and you like, hey, you know, do this, that.
Yeah.
You know? Like until I showed, so the first guy I got for like a truck, it was, they were actually getting it because he's from Omaha. So he got it shipped out over here, and then we started working on it. So they got the hydraulics and all that.
Oh, right.
So then,
they try to do.
So then he like let me do something on there because I was like, I never done. Well, I'm barely learning airbrushing, let alone on cars, because it's a totally different, like how you break down the ink or the paint. You know?
Yeah, of course.
And then you know with all the flakes and all that, like all that you have to know about, because I learned the hard way. And then so it's like knowing all that's its own skill. Because dude, it's like a lot. It's like not just learning how to airbrush. Now you gotta learn about the ink, how to reduce them. If you don't reduce them, how are you gonna fix that? So it's like always fixing them.
Yeah, for sure. And getting a certain consistency or viscosity with your paint, and it's flowing great, and then you run out and you're like, shit, and you mixed it in your cup, so now you don't have it, and you gotta redo it. And
no, he's like, mix enough. And then I'm like, dude, you mix enough, and it's still not enough. Like,
or you make way too much, you're done, and you still have a half a bottle, and you're like, damn, I'm never gonna use that. I know I'm not, but.
Or at least with the paints like that, you can always change the color.
Yeah, tint them, move them around. Yeah, do your own stuff, your own projects.
So it's like.
That's what I do.
Yeah, so it's like, it's a real waste. If somebody else is like, oh, I like that color. That's awesome. I still have the candy from the board that I made, you know?
Oh, okay,
It was from the guys, but I felt like I should get more attention. But they sounded really basic, like on the mixing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I feel like either I'm getting it wrong or, but everybody tells me different. Like, we had a custom paint class, right? So, custom paint and regular paint is totally different.
Yeah, you know? Of course. Like insurance jobs and custom,
So all the custom paint, I guess, they do different techniques that normal painters do. If you ask a painter, they're like, no, you're not supposed to do that. But you tell them, they're like, oh, you do this, you do that, and then they're breaking boundaries, and you're just like, you do that? I should fucking know, you know? So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so it's like,
I think regular painters, it's more robotic, more just get the paint on there, make sure it's nice. Don't really mess around with nothing, you know. Custom painters, you're having fun, you know. You're messing around, you're doing tape shades and all these kind of crazy stuff. A little bit. I've messed around with it. I have pinstripe brushes. It's cool. Making sure you have that nice, consistent line, you know.
And that whole thing that I was talking about, like being confident, that works a lot with that for some reason. Because I kept doing the same thing. We're in class, or like, it was already towards the end of the class, so the guy was, because he wasn't really teaching us how to pinstripe, but he was doing it for everybody's board.
Oh, okay.
And then nosy me was all up in there like, hey, how do you do that? Why?
What are you doing right there?
Yeah,
what is that?
Yeah, I was like one of those little kids, like, why? I was probably like, oh. But hey, I'm glad he was very nice to teach me. You know,
so, definitely.
So I was lucky enough to like have, they were really cool. Because I don't know, some people are like haters, you know?
I think they're probably mostly going to be cool if they're putting on a class because they know they have to be people, persons.
But like with tattoo artists, it's like, we'll teach you a certain amount.
Oh, like in the
want.
seminars and stuff?
Yeah,
Oh,
you know,
okay,
so you only get that and that's it. They're not going to give you more. So.
Right, yeah.
But I feel like with them, it was
yeah, it is. That's what I've always seen. I've never been to like a tattoo seminar or nothing like that, but I can see if it's like that, then you can see, oh, it might be like this over here too. But yeah, most of the time, I've even got information on Instagram. I've hit up people like, hey, you know, I remember years ago, I hit up this very well-known artist and somewhere in the Midwest. I think he's in Oklahoma. And like, I just sent him like a message or two, and he sent me back like 3 or 4 paragraphs, just like of basically just basic knowledge, but just.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, I looked at it like, damn.
I try to do it when like people hit me up, and then a lot of people are like, oh my god, I didn't think you were gonna reply. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. But I try to reply to people, and it's not nothing perverted or retarded. No, yeah, I get like some perverted messages. Why would you think that would get you broke?
Yeah, or something.
No, yeah, like the. I don't know, how do I?
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, that was cool. So, and just recently, it's funny, I went back and I looked at all of them, and I was just like, wow, now it's already a few years in doing my own thing, because I've been airbrushing for a long time, but on my own doing it full time, only about 2.5 years.
Like a business, right?
Yeah, as a business.
So like you're just learning. And
yeah, you have a job, and you're like, well, it don't really matter if I get good or not, or if I finish this thing, because I got work tomorrow and I'm gonna make money and I don't care.
Oh my god, this is a commission. Then.
Well, yeah, of course. But even then, I'm
yourself,
a lazy. You know? So I used to even have jobs, you know, commission jobs, and I just wouldn't do them. I don't know why. I just had something in me. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't do it. They'd be calling me. I wouldn't answer, or I would answer and just, you know, just tell them some bullshit story or something. But
maybe it was motivating.
Well, yeah, of course. If I didn't want to do it, then I just wouldn't. But my parents would look at me. This is like way back when I was younger. But they're like, if they're paying you, why don't you just do it? I'm like, I don't know. I just don't want to do it. If you don't want to do something, you're not gonna do it.
Like, they pay you to eat shit. Are you still gonna eat it? You know, it's like sometimes you just don't want to do it.
Yeah. It doesn't matter about the money. It doesn't matter about nothing. It's, you know, you just want to do it. But.
Right now, like, what do you feel like inspires you? I would say like what inspired you when you were younger, but I figured it was just more of a you're just doing it.
Well, when I was younger, a lot of things inspired me. Just learning the airbrush as I was going along and seeing what guys were painting with the airbrush. You know, I would look at that and I would just wonder, like, how did they do that? You know, how did they get that color to fade or blend with that other color? And lo and behold, it's super easy with the airbrush. You know, it's nothing crazy. But yeah, that was when I was younger. Now, yeah, it's just learning the technique, learning what colors go along with what colors. And now, I guess what inspires me is, you know, just being able to take care of my family. You know, that right there is huge. You know, not necessarily like getting paid, because obviously that's just a little middleman. But being able to paint something, and in the end of everything, getting paid, paying bills, doing this, doing that, going on vacation, you're like, wait a minute, I did all this with that painting I did, or this week of work, or this month of work, or whatever, you know? That right there is like, I sometimes sit and think like, damn, this is crazy. But I know I can get lost right there, you know what I mean? I can just get like money hungry, or I can say, I don't care about my work, I'm just gonna do whatever, they're gonna pay me, and I'm gonna move on. And I think, you know, I think about that too. And I don't wanna go down that road, obviously. But it's a struggle, because you get commission jobs, but they want you to paint something specific, you know what I mean? And not all the time you wanna paint that. You don't wanna paint their grandparents, and you don't want to do those flowers that they like, you know what I mean? You know, things like that. But, you know, you do whatever you got to do, and you keep it pushing. In your free time, do what you want to do. You know, that's how I look at it.
What's the longest piece you've like worked
on? Well, that's a tough question, because I'm a procrastinator. So.
Oh yeah, because that truck I have, I probably had it for like a year and a half. So I'm like, wow. Let me ask, because I shouldn't have it that long, because I tried to have a conversation with class, and I guess you're supposed to like code them.
Every once in a while, yeah.
I didn't know that, so I just been sitting there and just raw. So
yeah.
I don't know, but.
Well, because, you know, dust and everything will settle on it, and it'll kind of stick to it. You know all about that, in the rough areas of the painting.
protect it. But
Yeah, yeah.
No, okay, so. And then I tried cleaning it with napkin.
Lint everywhere.
Yes, I was like, no! That made it even worse. I was just like, dude. So, yeah, the struggles of learning on your own.
Yeah, of course.
But I give it to the people that, did you learn on your own? Did someone teach you?
Most of it. I would say 95% of it. Or I'd say 90%. The other 5% was YouTube videos, and then the other 5%, I did take a class at Coast Airbrush.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in like 2015 or something like that. No, it was
More advanced.
it was more advanced. Yeah, it was with Gerald Mendez. Yeah, we were doing. He tried to do like I think 2 full color panels in a 3-day class, and we didn't pull it off, but we definitely started both of them. You know, we got well deep in all of them. He didn't finish either, but he finished them later on, and you know, it came out really nice.
It's a good thing that you can take it home and then practice what you just learned. You finish the whole piece, and it's like, okay. It's cool. Like the one we had, it was kind of, I had to, because like I was the last person to finish mine because they had to clear it.
Right.
So even like where they put a little bit of the airbrush to hide, because the tape took off some of it. So it's like, normally when they do it like in normal life, not just in the class, they put clears in between to protect.
Yeah, an inner coat or
made, you know, and so we didn't have none of that, so we were putting tape over it. There was tips everywhere, and I was like, wow. And then I'm a perfectionist, so I was just like, fuck, I was trying to make it look nice, all the way like trying to patch it up before they did it.
Yeah, for sure.
And then so then they cleared it. Mine was like the last one to go in, so I was just like, it's always the last one. Never the first one, always the last. But what's the hardest thing you've had to like deal with?
Or just painting in general. Yeah.
I was talking like I feel like that's always been an issue, like the people.
Yeah.
For everything, every job is always the first one. They're picky or they want some shit that's like.
Yeah.
I tell people, give me a theme, and then give me like an idea, and then
you run with it. Yeah.
But some people are just like, no, I want this specific one, this one, and you're like.
I want a tiger looking up at a sunflower,
and then they
dripping
like
red paint.
One,
Yeah.
And they want something realistic.
Oh yeah, that too.
You get it all cartoony or realistic. Like pick one. You can't put 2. Like, and if you do, you have to do it a certain way. But they want it their way, and they don't listen. And then once you do it, they're like, oh yeah. Then they want you to redo it and not pay you. You can pay me for that too. Like, what? And it's the same with tattoos. It's like they don't like something, then now they want me to cover it. Like, I'm gonna charge you to cover it.
Yeah,
you
of
don't
course.
like it, and I told you not to do that, and you still fucking did it. I'm sure it's the same thing with like, but people think that you're gonna just do it for free.
Yeah, exactly. We'll go over like a certain theme or whatever, and you know that's cemented in, and I'll start going. A couple days in, they'll hit me up, hey, how's it going? Whatever, can you send me a progress pic? And I always tell them like, you don't want to see it right now. It doesn't look nice. You're not gonna understand it. It's a mess. No, it's okay. Just send me a picture. Okay, send it to them. Oh, but what about this and what about that? I'm like, dude, I already told you.
Like, if you're the art person, you would have done this, but you're not. Shut the fuck up. Sit your ass over there.
Yeah. But obviously you can't say that, but.
Certain people just like.
Yeah.
Like, do you want to paint this? And they're like, no, this is your job. Okay then. I was like, we already had our conversation. I gave you a layout. You agreed on it. Nah, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And like, unless you're gonna change the color, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
But they're coming here like, oh, can you make this smaller, this bigger?
But going back to your question, I think the hardest thing for me has been my own thoughts about, and the vibes about with the whole thing. Like I did this mural for this couple in Southgate, and the whole time I was doing it, I don't know why, but I could just feel like they were looking through the window, because I did it in their backyard. I felt like they were looking through the window and just asking themselves or talking to themselves like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And that was just fucking eating me. It was just eating me up. And I would, I'd call my wife like, hey, come bring me lunch or something. I want to take a break or whatever. And she'd come and I'd sit there and she's like, what's wrong? I could tell. And I'm like, oh man, I feel like it's not coming out how I want. And like, I feel just like, I don't know. I feel like they're going to tell me like, just stop any moment. They're going to come out and be like, it's okay, just stop. We'll pay you for what you've done. And that's it. And And she's like, well, just keep going, just don't think about it.
Anyways.
Yeah. I learned a good lesson. You just have to be good enough to get paid. That's it. But anyway, it's funny though, because in that particular project that I did, when I finished it, I was talking with the owner, and she was telling me like, she was like, oh yeah, it looks beautiful, blah blah blah. And when she was like, yeah, when you started, she's like, I was looking at my husband, and we were like, what is he doing? And I was like, what the fuck? So I really felt what they were thinking and all that shit. It was a trip, but that was that was probably the hardest thing, or that is the hardest thing, because I still do feel that sometimes, but not so intense.
I feel like you just have to like part of it, because it's the same thing with that.
It is.
Same with tattooing. Like, I'll scribble shit on you, even put the outlining, and they're like, how the fuck? I'm like, exactly. I'm the artist, not you. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And this is my pattern. I understand my pattern.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. For sure. Because if you let that get to you, you let that overcome your thoughts, then you're not gonna finish. You're not gonna get paid. You're not gonna move on. It's always gonna be something in your head like, damn, I could have finished it. I could have done this. I could have done that. Because now I feel that too, but I feel like maybe I'm a little bit more advanced.
Unless they're artists themselves, that's the only time we should do art. Other than that, if they don't do art, I'm just like, I like, just, I don't even say that. I just like,
yeah.
Like, I'll explain to you.
Right.
And then I like break down.
Enjoy the ride.
Yeah, I try to say nicely. I try my best to be nice.
Yeah.
It's so hard. That's like the hardest thing to think about dealing with. Like, it's easier when you just paint art for yourself, but when you have to deal with people, it's like, they want certain things, and you're kind of like, oh, trying to make the car look fucking ghetto, don't do that. Or, like, the big stuff that I'm just like, don't do that.
Yeah.
So I tell them, like, what do you like? So I usually, like, just get their idea, and then I already know it's dumb. I'm just gonna do my own thing. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna try to find a way to incorporate it, but in a different way.
Yeah,
like sometimes I'll get girls that want like a bunch of shit at once. So then I'll put whatever they wanted on the shirt of the girl, and then I'll put on the hat, or like I'll put certain things to throw it in, and I'm like, there you go, look, you got your sports, your this and that and that. There you go.
Yeah.
Some girl wanted like a Virgin Mary, and then like Hello Kitty, and then like. So I think I ended up doing like the Virgin Mary with the Hello Kitty shirt and everything. Like,
no way.
I'm like, oh, this bitch has all kinds of shit. I forgot what I did. It's like been such a long time, but I try to press it to where it looks good. But then it's just like, I don't like it, but she was like in love with it, and I was just like, okay.
Yeah, you deal with that as an artist. Where? Oh, Taiwan. Yeah. I went to Taiwan. That was cool.
I was a culture shock on that one because it's.
That was crazy because there was, certain things that they eat, certain things that they do that you're just like, what? But yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
I trip out, I don't know if it's that one, but the ones where they like wear like wood for shoes. Oh,
that's probably Japan.
I don't know, but I was like, damn, my feet are, it's that. Chanclas, the chanclas are like a little coated, so I just imagine just pure wood like that.
Yeah, that was a fun trip.
Did you see any art?
Yeah. We went to this area where it was a library, but the library was closed for some reason. But it was this was back in 2017.
Oh, okay. So before COVID.
Yes, way before the world changed. But there was all those carvings, that they do over there in Asia and stuff, out of ivory and wood and stuff like that. Who knows if the ivory was real, right? But yeah, just crazy intricate carvings, And there was even this one particular figure that I would see over and over and over again. And it was actually hard for me to find it, like Google it and everything. But it was like this what they call it, like a ghost, like some kind of demon ghost or something. And I definitely like to pick one of those things up because it just looks crazy. It's like this old man that has like this robe on or whatever, right? He has some kind of staff, and they always have him. He doesn't have legs, and they always have his body going into like a what they would make like wind or something. You know what I mean? Like that kind of carving. So it just looked crazy. But yeah, I got to see that stuff, and it was cool. Yeah, it was cool.
So you get to see like the experience.
Oh yeah.
How long did you stay out there for?
It was 2.5 weeks. Or 3 weeks, I can't really remember. But it was a long time, and they wanted me to stay longer. Toward the last couple of days, it was for work. It was at a company that I was working for, and they had me out there training. So I was going to their warehouse, their assembly warehouse. I was seeing the machines getting put together.
Oh, so you got to see like locals, not just like
yeah.
a trip, you know?
Yeah.
You take a trip.
Yeah, I was going
more of a sightseeing tourist.
Right.
Thing,
Yeah. I was going to where like locals would eat, locals would go vacation, because on the weekends I was, they didn't work.
What was your favorite food?
Well, they have a lot of seafood, so it had to be one of the seafoods that I've had, maybe the octopus or something like that, but there was some, I would say 90% of it.
Did you hear that about the octopus?
No.
That they found that they have a alien DNA.
No way.
One of them motherfuckers are smart. Yeah, because if you lock one up in a jar,
I felt enlightened after I had octopus.
Huh. I'm gonna go eat it right now.
No, but yeah, so during the weekends, we were free. I was free, so two of the guys there at the warehouse or whatever, they would take me around to places that they would go on weekends, like a regular. So it was cool.
Family,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That sounds pretty cool. I would want to do something like that, especially when your job's paying for it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like,
getting a per diem.
You're getting paid and you're going on vacation.
Yeah.
Kinda, not really, but.
Yeah, it's kind of like a vacation.
I can never go on vacation and not work. So to me, it's vacation when you're not at home.
Right.
It's vacation when you're not at home.
Yeah.
You still gotta go out and enjoy it.
Yeah.
If you go home, it's like, where are you gonna go? To Santa Monica. Like, there's not a lot of places to go out here that's like you've already been at.
That you haven't been to.
In a different state or city or country, it's like different.
Yeah.
Even when we go to tattoo somewhere, like. After we're done, like we'll go roam around the city just to go check it out.
Of course.
When we went to New York, we were just like, well, I ain't going to get pizza. Like we wanted the New York pizza. We're in New York. We're like, fuck that. I want that New York pizza.
Order it by the slice.
Because I'm weeded over here. It's the New York style.
Right.
Now it's like New York pizza. It's real New York pizza.
They don't even call it New York pizza. They just call it pizza. Right?
Yeah. So then they're like, what do you mean?
New York
We're New York.
Pizza.
Like, are you stupid? Probably looking at me all crazy and shit.
Yeah.
I know a few states that looked at me kind of weird. Like when I went to Milwaukee, I was like in a big ass poofy jacket, so they're looking at me like, you're not from around here. And I'm like,
Right.
They're like, oh, you can tell. I'm telling you, they're like in shorts and it's 50 something degrees, and I'm like dying because over here it's like fucking cold. You know? So it's like we're not used to it. To them, they used to like fucking below zero.
Yeah.
So that's like, ooh, warm
15 below, 10 below.
Yeah, so to them it's like warm. You know? So I was just like dying. They're like, oh yeah, I can tell you're not from here. I'm like,
yeah, different kind of people over there, man. Definitely.
If you could have another truck, where would you go to?
I like Japan actually.
Yeah.
I really want to go to Japan. Yeah, just because, you kind of get a little bit of everything. You can kind of see what the future is gonna look like.
You feel like you're back at home.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You can kind of see into the future, and then you can kind of see into the past.
Yeah.
So.
But I feel like that's coming back around, like that whole little.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I see kids starting to wear bigger pants, not so much tight jeans.
Cortez, I've been seeing the Cortezes there.
And they're all sold out. You can't even buy them. The nylon ones, try to buy some.
Oh man.
You could get them on StockX for $200, where you could go buy them at the warehouse.
Imagine how much they were back then.
Oh yeah, I know. I think my pops told me they used to buy them because they were cheap shoes. You know what I mean? Now people are buying them because they want that look, or they whatever,
Well, same thing with the chucks too. Like the chucks were.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
They were like what? I remember they were like $25. Now it's like $50. Like.
Yeah, 60 if you got like 10 and a half or up.
Well, you know what they say? It's a supply and demand. Not everybody wants them, so.
Yeah, for sure.
And especially they have like the old ones. If you try to.
Yeah.
Save them and then they sell them for more. I know a few people are doing that. Like they'll go buy the shoes. Remember how that guy was telling me too? Someone like mentioned about shoes. Like, oh, you got those when they came out, huh?
Oh, right.
So I guess they look.
Yeah, some real sneakerheads.
Yeah, because like even that whole fucking world's crazy. It's just like, damn, dude. I see people spending like $1,000 for shoes.
Yeah.
And they don't even wear them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are you gonna buy them?
A lot of people look at them as an investment. You go buy like those Back to the Future Nikes or whatever, if you can find them now, and they just like, I'm gonna sit on it for 5 years.
But it's funny how we're talking about that right now. It just popped in my head. I ain't talking about politics, but it just popped up. It's funny how motherfuckers will sit in line for hours to get shoes, and you're talking about an investment. It's like, so is voting. Voting is an investment.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that.
Just tie that in there,
Everyone's like, I don't want to go stand in line. Mail it in, fool. What are you doing?
Right, or they have it to where you can just drop it in the thing.
Oh yeah, that too.
Put it in and
Yeah.
drop it
Yeah,
in.
they'll mail
in
it to
case
you.
you don't trust the mail office.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
You don't know if they're fucking Republicans nowadays. They're hidden. They're hidden. Sorry, I hate talking politics, but always like I feel like I have to just to kind of like wake people up.
Well,
Everybody's
a lot of people say, "Oh, politics this, politics that," but they want to say it does. I'm not involved in it. I don't think about it. But, dude, politics is running your life. I don't know how you think you can't think about it or can't talk about it. You gotta look at it. You gotta pay attention. I mean, now what side you're on, what you believe, now that's something else. But politics in general, you gotta be involved. You gotta look. You gotta listen. You gotta know.
You know what gets me like it irks me all the time when I hear people that are like, oh, I don't watch the news, but yet they talk to me like they're so well informed, and I'm like, so where do you get your news from? If you don't watch the news, like and I ask them, and then like they can at least be like, oh, I was watching that that when it was happening, I watched it live. They would have told me that, and I'm like, okay, but they're just like, oh, I got it from. And then they'll say like some other shit, and I'm just like, that's an incredible fucking news.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So. Yeah, dude, like that's like I feel like that's why I always try to bring it up. Like sometimes I don't even try to bring it up. It just kind of reminds me, and then I'm like, you know what, I have to say something because it's like we have to wake people up.
Yeah,
if
for
they
sure.
don't wake up and vote, like shit's like right now how the whole thing with the abortion thing.
Oh yeah.
Like there's some people that are against it, like they have kids and they're like, oh, I would never. And I'm like, that's fine. Like it ain't about the kid. It's about the right to choose.
Yeah.
Like it ain't about the kid.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, because it's like if it was about the kid, they would take care of them after. Like they would help you, like because there's other countries where they actually help you with your kids, But not in the U.S. They want you to pay for a fucking child and for what's it called? For they take care of your kids and all that. There's some places where they help you. Like they give you money, they give you all that. And I'm like, oh no, they didn't give you like a baby box. It's crazy. I think it was in Switzerland. I forgot where it was at.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, a lot of those European countries are advanced. They're a little bit further ahead, further along. And I think America will come around too. But everyone likes to fight right now. Everyone wants to get on their side. Everyone wants to be like, no, I believe this, I believe that. No.
What gets me mad is that people are like trying to act like they're Republican when I'm like, bro, you broke as fuck. How are you Republican? Republican is all like power people, So the ones that have money that go Republican, it's more of a like they're trying to be cool with the rest of their friends, so they're gonna go Republican just to be like, all right, well, we're about money. Let's get this money.
Yeah.
They don't want you to know you have a heart.
Right.
Basically, because that's basically what Democrats are. Like, don't get me wrong, not all of them are good. Some of them they're not the best because they're like so, like still thinking like back in the days, So there's still that mentality. So I don't feel like
with
those
everything.
are the good ones. Yeah, like I feel like even Biden's still old school, So it's like everybody's always gonna talk shit about him. Like he's not bad. It's just he's not fast enough. Like we needed Bernie Sanders to be there. Kicking ass, but
I'm sure
the
elderly.
But I'm sure but so is fucking like all of them are like that.
Yeah, I mean, but that fool's like geriatric.
Yeah,
what I mean?
Remember back in the days, who ran everything?
Yeah.
The oldest member of the fucking.
Yeah, it was crazy when JFK became president because he was young. He was so young. He was like in his early 40s. So it was crazy. Everyone was like, "What the hell?" But yeah, he did it. But yeah, everyone before him and everyone after. Oh,
and then all the shit that he was trying to help, and then he gets smoked because he was trying to help.
The Fed.
You know what? I feel like it's at the end of because I was trying to kind of get into that, and it always leads back to the rich people because he's fucking up their money. You gotta get rid of the roach or the rat that keeps fucking making holes in your house, right?
Yeah, no shit.
So instead of just patching holes, you gotta kill the rat. So they felt like he was the one that was, metiéndose en cosas, and I feel like that was one of the issues, but
yeah, for sure.
Now everything's more out to light, so it's harder for them to get away with shit. Before there wasn't like now we're figuring it out because whatever footage we had, now we're like figuring it out.
Yeah.
So now it's harder for them to get away with it, But people always think that it's just the government, because I was the same way. I was like always against the government and all the fuck government. Until they broke it down and explained to me what the government was. And I'm just like, oh, okay, so it's not just one. Yeah, it's like saying, fuck my parents. Like, there's two. One might be an asshole and the other one might be sweet. You can't just say, fuck your parents, You're going to get offended because you're insulting one that shouldn't be insulted,
Yeah.
So that's how I feel when people are like, fuck the government. So I'm trying to explain to them, like, dude, I'm like, it's not just that.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, like, everybody was mad at Obama. And he's like, oh, they didn't do anything. Like, he couldn't get anything done because the House was ran by Republicans. You know, they had the majority. Like, they've been having the majority because they keep putting the fucking Republicans in there. Like, it's not fair.
Yeah.
Like, even with elections, like, why do you have to pay to run? Like, can't we just go off our votes?
Oh, right, yeah. How they say it, like, the richer guy has a better chance.
But that's how the rich people cheat. Because they know they're going to get someone. They'll probably give them money just for them to donate. And it's their money. But they can't donate to themselves.
Yeah, I'm sure they have a way to move it around where it looks like it's going in one direction, but it's just right here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a lot into it. Like, I always try to, I hate people are like, fucking this bitch again, but I'm just like, dude, I try to like get people to understand it. Because I didn't understand it, you know?
Yeah.
Before, I thought I was every 4 years we voted. And it's literally like every 2 years we're voting for different things, you know? And nobody's paying attention to none of that.
Yeah.
And then they're getting mad that nothing's happening, and I'm like, well, you're stupid ass, let it pass because you think voting don't count.
Or they're going through the ballot like, oh man, I didn't expect to see all of this, and they're just like filling things in.
Yeah, like, eeny, meeny, miny, moe, catch it, put it by your toe, like, bitch, like, and I'm not gonna lie, I was guilty of that in the beginning, and I was like, fuck, you know, but then I was like, no, I have to fucking read it, you know?
Yeah.
So then I went through every candidate and I read what they're about, or, you know what, I was looking more of what they've done. I don't go about, what they're promising, because fuck all that shit.
Yeah.
You could promise me the star on the moon, but what have you done?
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Like, so that's why I like Bernie Sanders, because he marched with Martin Luther King.
Yeah,
he was out there marching for our fucking rights. The white man didn't have to, because, you know, they all have white privilege. That white privilege shit. It's funny, because everybody was getting mad at me, because I'm always like, fuck white privilege. They're like, why you hating on white people? And I'm like, I'm not hating on white people. I'm hating on the privilege they get.
Yeah.
You know, and there's some that see it, you know, so it's like, they see that's fucked up, you know. Like, he was telling me today, he was like, have you ever experienced racism? And I'm like, yeah. I was like, you never have? Like, I have. I don't know. Like, even though I look whitita, and like, I still experience it. Like, when you're around pure fucking white people or people that are not Mexican, you're the only Mexican, you're gonna feel it.
You stand out. Yeah,
no,
definitely.
you're gonna feel the, like, oh, you know, Mexican kid. Like, just see you like whatever, you know?
Yeah.
They don't see you educated. They don't see you like you have money unless you stand out, you know? So that's why sometimes they say like, oh, you know, that's why if you're all dressed up fucking Louis Vuitton and all this shit, you know, you look like you come from money. So then you get treated a little bit different. So that's why, like, I feel like some people do it.
Yeah, for sure.
No, especially, like, if you're gonna have higher end clients, you're gonna have to dress higher end. So you'd be like, look, you know, like, I do this kind of work, now, you know, you gotta pay me, because this is what my value is.
Yeah.
You know, pay me or not.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
if they see you all bummed out, they're like, oh, I'll just give him $20, he'll be happy with that.
Yeah, he'll be happy.
Like a bum,
he'll be fine.
So it's like, it's important how you dress, even though it's like, I hate that, like, you have to
do that.
them.
Yeah.
But it's like, do you want to make money or what? You know, so you kind of have to like work with them, but at the same time, it's like you don't want to sell out. So it's just like, where are you at?
Yeah.
Point, you know, because I know like in graffiti, like there's street artists and there's graffiti artists.
Yeah.
So it's like, even with them, they're fighting because they're like, oh, you guys just fucking come and do your little fucking art. And they're out there like getting gangbanged, getting shot at. Like, you know, like they're out in the streets. You know, people forget that, especially people from out of state. Like when they come out here and then they come to tag, they see what it's all about because they're having like cholos, you know, shooting at them. Because over here they don't like that shit. Especially they don't know you, they don't know who you are, so they're just gonna shooting. They're gonna shoot first and ask questions later. You know, but people forget that, you know. And now that I'm like more into the graffiti world, I start seeing it and I'm just like, oh, you don't think they're graffiti, and now you're just a graffiti artist.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, I see the difference, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
But alright guys, I see that the time's kind of coming up and I can keep going on and on and on, but we're not. So make sure you guys subscribe, hit the bell like. I will be posting all his information. I'm going to post some of his work so you guys can kind of check it out. If you guys want to get anything done, make sure you guys hit him up. He's fucking dope. Do you want to add anything or shout outs?
Yeah, shout out Pops, Mom, Fatima, my wife, my kids. You guys keep me going and yeah, we'll see where we're at in 5 years. Hopefully we're up here and yeah, keep it moving.
Oh, I'm sure you will. His art's fucking dope. I'll be posting it up so you guys can check it out. And thank you guys for watching. And we'll see the next artist. Later.
Peace.